But I warned you, and that counts for something.
Welcome to Cyclops is Waiting for Me, an X-Men animated recap podcast with X-Men 97 Season 2. We made it, guys. We're here. Episode 2 is titled A Force to be Reckoned With. I think it should be titled something else, but I'll get to that when we get to that point. I'm Rod.
That was a hell of an intro cliffhanger. That was fantastic. Yeah. I don't even know what you're going with for it.
It's not even that dramatic, but yeah, there was something else that was said in the episode that I was like, oh, that would have been a great title. All right. I'm Rod. Per usual, I'm tired for these, but also VidCon was last week. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're probably vaguely aware what VidCon is. I get older, and the convention just keeps being filled with young people that I have to keep up with. So,
and let's also be clear, you were on a very long shoot yesterday, which I mean, being on set for anything will tire you out, but a full day shoot is also an ass kicker kind of moment too.
Yeah, I was on a shoot that was all day that I found out about the day before, and then before that, and you're like, oh, there was time between VidCon and that. In that time, I had to edit my other podcast, my music podcast, with singer-songwriter Lucy Woodward, which I think was very good. I don't know, because that's a blur, but she's she's really cool, so... if you're an elder millennial that remembers Stacey Rico, you might like that one. But went back to back to back.
I used to love the original song, and then you told me about Lucy's version of it. And I'm like, no disrespect to Stacey, but this is the better version.
Oh, see, I think they're both cool. They're just they're
both great, but I do like Lucy's better. So,
Lucy is more of a rocker. Then you can kind of tell from her performance, which is funny to say because she does jazz and big band now. But and Stacey was definitely more on the polished R&B and pop side. But it's pretty cool. Once you hear Lucy's other music from that same era, you're like, oh, okay, yeah. You can see all the similarities. I'm loving all the comments now on the interview or the clips saying how did I know both these songs but didn't know they were written by the same person? And it's but it makes so much sense once you hear it all together and know that context. Anyway. And
I'm JC, and I unboxed a Beast figure today.
Oh, very cool. Wait, is that one of the... What series is that?
Hold on. I have one of the boxes.
There's so many of these.
It is called a Kobe bobblehead. Rod, you haven't seen it yet because it was uploaded as a trial reel earlier today, so it has not been set live to our full-fledged feed. But I opened two of these, and I'm not going to show you guys what the second one is, so you could watch the full unboxing. That's how you do a tease, Rod.
Yeah.
Cyclops is Waiting for Me is our podcast series where we are going back and watching every single X-Men animated episode that we can find. This podcast started with the original 1992 X-Men the Animated Series, which was building up to the release of X-Men 97 Season 1. And because we loved X-Men 97 Season 1 so much, we kept going. We completed X-Men Evolution, Wolverine and the X-Men, and the X-Men anime. That one was a little bit tougher. But we are finally back weekly for at least until X-Men 97 Season 2 is complete, and then we probably go back to being a bi-weekly show.
And some quick reminders, we're a recap show about an episode that's not even a week old yet. Actually, if you're listening to this the day we post it, tomorrow's going to be not our next episode, but the next episode of the show, right? Is it Tuesdays?
No, there will be 2 days before that. But
2 days. Oh, is it Thursday? I'm lost track of time. Anyway, soon. There will be spoilers. If you don't want to spoil for you, pause the podcast, watch the episode, and come back. Don't say we didn't warn you. We're currently not sponsored by or affiliated with Marvel Animation, Disney, or Disney Plus in any way.
Don't forget to follow us on social media at Cyclops IWFM Pod on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. I finally updated the script and took out all the other platforms that we technically still have the username for, but do not go on at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 2, titled A Force to be Reckoned With. Once again, I have other suggestions. It aired on July 1st, 2026, alongside Episode 1 and 3 as part of a 3-episode premiere. Episode 3 will be live in our feed tomorrow. It currently sits at an 8.5 star rating on IMDb. Starts off with, I didn't really know what was happening at the beginning. It's in 1997, so we're in the show's present day. And I just saw ghost birds. At first I thought they were like spirits taking lights out. And
what is important structurally is, aside from the previously on, which was like very Cable, Roberto, and Jubilee focused, is this is a formal cold open. Like, there is full-fledged episode before the intro goes in, and of course, like, you know, that's a big piece of it. So, Rod, favorite game, who are these 5 mutants?
Okay, so as my notes here say, kids are running to X-Mansion. They're being chased by Multiple Man. I didn't know that.
That is correct.
I didn't realize who this team was until I saw the spiky girl, but especially in the next scene, I saw Chamber, and I recognized Chamber. So I'm assuming that whole group is Gen X.
That is not correct.
Oh, okay.
Members of the team are a part of Gen X.
Okay.
So we're not wrong about that. But, so there is... the girl who is running through, her name is Jill. She's the one who's making the little ghost birds, and those ghost birds are essentially like acting as like a homing beacon to tell them where to run. The other one of the other boys is her brother named Mark. Those two characters have significance because they are actually killed in the really, really like well-known story, God Loves, Man Kills, which is an X-Men book. It's the Reverend Stryker story, essentially.
Gotcha.
So that's a reference to those two characters. Penance is the one that you were referring to, who definitely is a member of Generation X. So you're right on that one. You have Wing, who is the other boy that doesn't have the multicolor hair. That has a very, very pivotal moment in the Astonishing X-Men run involving Danger. And I don't know if they're going to take this route with it, so I'm actually going to avoid mentioning what happens to that character there. And then the kid with the pink hair, that is Kid Omega, who's wearing the Phoenix shirt, who is... He is the student who starts the riot at the Xavier Institute. Like, it's a pretty hyper powerful character. In one iteration of the future, he inherits the Phoenix Force. So
okay, so that's the Easter egg with the shirt, because that name sounds familiar, but I don't think I know anything about them. So I didn't really know anything.
Kid Omega also goes by Quentin Quire, which might be the name you've heard me say for him in the past.
I didn't recognize any of those names except for Penance, and then of course the next scene, Chamber. But I only know Chamber because of the action figure,
which is totally fair.
Yeah, and so because it's Multiple Man, it's kind of obvious. They get stopped by X Factor. They have a very cool heroic shot. It's part of what I love about the show. Is like there's no reason for them to be posed like that, but they are, and it's a really great screenshot backdrop for your computer. And the show's full of them. And then
I was just gonna say really quickly. They emphasize that they believe that the X-Men are dead. Quentin is the one who drops that on people. I thought that was, like what the public perception is of what's going on with the team. And then we knew that he probably wasn't going to be involved in the season because in the headshot board that Forge and Bishop had, Quicksilver is marked as off-world. Even though he was in that last episode, or that episode in X-Men 92, as being a part of the X Factor team. So, but,
and that's fair because, like, as far as like anybody who wasn't part of the actual battle knows, they just saw like X-Men up in asteroids, they explode, and like everybody's dead from that, right? It is kind of interesting that they ran their Seeking Hope anyway. It's like their last ditch.
I mean, I guess it kind of falls into like in 1997, if you were looking up what is going on in the world, like that was still early enough that, were you searching up what, like Yahoo News of like, are these kids still alive? Like, was that even prevalent enough that you could get reliable news on the internet that early on? Unless you're going to like actual message boards and stuff. I feel like because that was 8th grade for me, I don't think I would have searched for news of this location,
I don't even know if that was super prevalent times. I remember 97 was when we still had to sign into computer labs, and I think I had just started like a Yahoo email account at that point. But like, and they had news, but like Yeah, like you said, I don't know. But even if they have the news, it's just like the idea that they have an understanding that they're dead, because one of them even mentions it, and they still like seek hope. They're like, well, we literally have nowhere else to turn to. So I took it as like that was to show the desperation of these kids, that like they're just out on their own, and there's like, this whole episode parallels some real world stuff, but that they're willing to go to a place where like it's almost certain that no one is at, but that's
because they
their
got
best.
Nothing else to go for.
Yeah. Their best hope is the thing that's almost certainly going to be a failure. Like it's like a really grim, and that's not even a future thing. That's like the show's present day. And so we see like a news broadcast once again by Trish Tilby of like the Generation X kids getting captured, and that's when you see Chamber. And I just remember the action figure having the cool like light up beard that was kind of similar to like Storm's power. I can't remember if he had like an electric thing or it was just a spark, but I just remember the clear like fire.
I mean, it's supposed to be the equivalent of fire coming out, so I could see it going either way. I definitely didn't have that toy. You know who would know? Dylan from the Uncanny Experience, who has done an amazing Chamber cosplay. He would definitely know.
Oh, nice. So, very cool. Yeah, and so they're detaining mutants. Val mentions they want to relocate them, and it becoming controversial was once again timely. And we see that all of this is on a report that Jubilee's watching at an arcade while waiting on Sunspot to finish playing video games. I never put together Sunspot was so rich that he'd never been in an arcade before, apparently.
Also, before you even saw him playing on the arcade, did you see the ultimate Rod Easter egg in the shot of the TV?
Oh, the Mall Babe chili fries.
Yes.
Right?
Which is even cut off that it's just Mall Babe with a 3, and then it's CH because it's cut off by the framing. So,
which, I know Dave's Hot Chicken has the toys. All you independent like places that have fries and chili, I know there's like Chili John's out here in LA and stuff. This is prime opportunity, because I don't think Disney has a trademark on Mall Babe chili fries. You could do that and serve it to
you could
X-Men
only
fans.
do it as a copyright issue if you did the 3 for the E, because then that would be too obvious a reference.
Yeah, but I mean, if you just call something a Mall Babe chili fries, even just calling it that will just have so much of like an original series X-Men like tie-in. Like that would be so cool.
Hey, JC from Scum and Villainy, who's probably not listening, maybe do that during one of the watch parties for the rest of the season. Go. Just saying.
There you go. And then it has some sort of cocktail that has Pop Rocks in it or something, that Jubilee.
I mean, that's... Okay, so the Dave's Hot Chicken meal that arrived today, they had an option for a drink that was half Red Bull, so of course I ordered that, but it also had Pop Rocks in it. But by the time it got to me from the delivery thing, the Pop Rocks had just like congealed at the bottom. They were no longer popping.
That's wild that they didn't just give you a packet to drop. Okay, well, whatever.
Yep, not gonna ask. It's fine.
Yeah, and so very quickly, Cable finds them in our favorite X-Men disguise, trench coat and hat.
Which was also a very like Captain America coded disguise too.
I can see that. Yeah, and even though he's not quite like blue and furry like Beast, it's still like this incredibly jacked man with like a weird eye tattoo.
But at least it's like it's a hat. It's not like a fedora. Yeah. Like it actually looks like the dude looked like a creep sitting there in an arcade with a bunch of teenagers. Mm-hmm. At least like Jubilee and Sunspot are 18, so it's not like the creepiest of creepy scenarios. But yeah, like because Jubilee was pissed off about Forge and Bishop disappearing, and then Cable introduces himself by being like, "Oh, aren't you supposed to be the peppy one?"
Yeah. That's kind of, and this part more of the dark timeline is like she's usually the positive one, and now like Hope is kind of lost. Sunspot is just like he's not really been a soldier besides like the fight they just had in the last season. So
the fight with Magneto was really the only one he's had. Yeah.
So he's just like, we're waiting for orders. Like we're the kids here, which I think is fair. I think if I was 18. And like the world was ending, I don't know if I would take initiative on myself to do that with the team. Maybe do a little bit more than he did, but like anyway. So yeah, and then this is if you listen to I almost said last week, yesterday's episode. JC mentioned the external. So I missed it in that episode, but I saw it in here. This Cable pulls out his file about Apocalypse, and I know there's a bunch of Easter eggs in there, but the one that caught my eye was the external, because like, what a random character to bring back. And you made a good point that this was a Gambit character. And I was like, that makes sense. I think like I never really fathomed that character, the external, was more than like not even like a. I don't know how to explain it. It was almost like a statue or something, in my eyes, because like she'd like come out of the swamp, every 100 years, whatever they said, to get a sacrifice to, and then disappear.
Yeah, yep.
I didn't even consider that she would like. She's kind of like Enya. You remember her? Like, what does that woman's real life look like? She just does
Enya,
like new age.
the singer.
Yeah, because when you think of Enya, I'm like, I know she like lives in a castle in Scotland and all that stuff. And
wait,
but
what?
she. Yeah, I just you don't know Enya's.
Okay, you have to give a quick lore dump for context, because you're just throwing out.
Okay, Enya was a singer.
Shit here, Rod.
Enya was a singer primarily in the 80s and 90s. You probably heard her songs. Like, she's had a lot.
She
of
was on the
music,
Pure Moods CD.
new.
That's what I know her from. Yes.
Yeah, and I had all her albums because they were great chill music. There was this era in the 90s where like new age music was kind of like unironically cool and stuff, and she made a killing. Nowadays, she's kind of the ultimate success story because no one's seen her in decades, but she reportedly lives in a castle alone with a bunch of cats, which is the ultimate.
So she has the ultimate life, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And anyway, but when you think of, if you ever see Enya's like photos and stuff, she looks like a Celtic woman from like the 1700s, and that's a great brand. You know that she's not that in real life, most likely. What does her real life look like, So, like...
She is so happy just chilling in fucking sweatpants and loose t-shirts. That's what her life is. And she's thrilled every day because she probably has 50 cats in a castle.
Like, yeah, like if she passed me by like the Toluca Lake Trader Joe's, I wouldn't know because unless she was in a robe or something. So that's kind of how I see the external. I'm like, oh, you walking outside of that swamp does not compute.
Yep.
So like I saw in this file, I was like, that's interesting. Anyway, so that's where I noticed this, and
you get the full list of all the different horsemen that's also in that little screen. Fabian Cortez is mentioned there, and then War's name is Abraham Kives, which I don't think we ever got that in the original series. They never give us that level of detail on it, but they're like giving those little extra bits of personality to those horsemen from the original Archangel episode. So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and then they have Warren Worthington in there, right? Is like other Caliban, who is the one that Jubilee befriended and stuff like that. And essentially Cable goes to recruit them, but he doesn't give them a choice. Like, he doesn't just say like, you're going with me. Like, he tells them like, you can do something about it. Also, I kind of got the vibe from him that like, you're literally the last two mutants left that have any experience in any of this.
I mean, you're the last two X-Men on the planet that aren't working for the government.
Yeah.
And Iceman.
Yeah. And so Jubilee's like, I guess, and he gives him a fair warning. He's like, once you get in, there's no going back. Like, this is a true like mission,
Yep. It was like, what, you're not students, you're not heroes, you're soldiers, and you listen to me once you're out there, and it's better than sitting back and playing video games.
Yeah, and which is what Jubilee just said, so she's kind of like calling her out on her, claims and stuff. And I love the transition because she's like, I guess we're in. What's the team called? And then the theme plays, and I don't know if I was ready for just like a whole new intro sequence. Yep. This show is so crazy. Like, I can only imagine, I don't know if it was Jake or Chase or one of the directors, somebody producing this, or even maybe the Leewalds or something, that were like, this intro is so iconic, like, it deserves a budget to do something special with every time. So they change the characters, obviously, for the different storylines that happen. But even that, I feel like it's kind of a subtle thing, because you can do a sequence and stuff.
And you could repeat a bunch of them. This was like 85% new footage across it. Yeah, it
was a whole new thing. Stars Cable and like, what was it? It was Apocalypse instead of Magneto and stuff.
Well, you get their plane, which never gets named, and instead of Storm and Rogue flying in front of it, you get Archangel and Sunspot flying in front of it. In Cyclops' place with the explosion, you get Cable, which is his son, who's appropriate. it's just like such a cool, well done thing, honestly.
And also, I have to know, I mean, I wasn't necessarily an X-Force kid back in the day. Obviously, I was aware of it, but there's a whole sector of fans for X-Force that just got their dreams come true. They got the cool intro with it. Really? Okay.
And I say not really because if you look at what X-Force was as a comic, the only crossover of this team, X-Force, and the original comic one is Cable and Sunspot. The rest of the teams are completely disconnected from each other.
Okay, well,
yeah,
they tried. Also,
it was like Boom Boom, Feral, Richter. There was like 3 others that were in there too, and not Spiral. Who's the dude with the ponytail who got killed in Deadpool that I'm blanking on? Is it Shatterstar?
Shatterstar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember X-Force from Shadow?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't know this to be a fact. So I didn't like go into like A/B it, but I think this is a different take from guitarist Neely Broche, who plays the guitar on this. Because, and I can talk about this now because I think I saw a news article about it, so this is out there. Back when when season 1 was airing, I forget if it was when we had lunch with them, but Andy from the Newton Brothers had mentioned he had Neely do several takes of the guitar, obviously to have options and stuff, but
of course.
And I think like there was an article that came out where like the Newton Brothers did say publicly that there were like at least 8 different versions. And I know talking to Andy, he said like one of our issues was that she was playing it too well for a few of the takes.
Yes, I do remember that phrase being said. Yeah.
And so like I think maybe this is another take that's played a little well because I feel like I heard some extra little flourishes and stuff. I'm a musician, but I'm not a guitarist, so like I don't know as a fact. Maybe I'm just like hearing something different because the visual's different, but that would be so perfect. It seems like it would fit to just use a slightly different take of the guitar that's like a little bit like more, has a little bit more flair for this whole new intro. But they're giving you a reason never to skip. No one ever skipped this anyway, but they're giving you a reason to like never skip it because there's gonna be some treat every single time.
Well, other stuff that they made sure to put in there, like Quentin, Chamber, and Penance were the ones who did the fence run, which was originally a Jubilee shot, which became the Sunspot shot. You had a shot that did not take place anywhere else in any episode with Psylocke training Jubilee. You get the flashback to like Muir Island and the New York City fight, and then the 2 teams running at each other. Like you got the season 1 of X-Men 92 Horsemen with the Hounds from season 5 running towards the X-Force team, but also like they added the Parrot Girl, Angel, Chamber, and there was like a blue Sentinel chasing them in the background. Like I was like literally like, because I watch it on my computer for taking notes, so I'm like double tapping the space bar to like get every single scene on there, and I'm like, that's the level of detail for something that is literally swiped by in the camera for a second is wild.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
So then the episode opens in Rio de Janeiro, and the X-Force, as we can call them now, are looking for War, or Abraham, I guess. And it's kind of funny because like,
War.
Archangel and Psylocke are like super serious.
I have a theory.
Okay.
I have not gotten confirmation on this. In the shot where they're showing like some of the crowd shots up close before the reveal of Jubilee and Sunspot dancing, there is definitely a person in the crowd with glasses and facial hair that I am 90% sure is Jake.
Oh, nice. Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know if it's legit. I have not gotten any sort of confirmation on that, but I was like, that looks very similar to the Survivor from the Genosha attack.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was in season 1, so why not?
And he survived. His character was not in the fatality group.
Yeah. So Archangel and Psylocke are being super serious in their stakeout and stuff. Specifically, Psylocke. I love seeing Psylocke get more like screen time, like as an actual like person. And
also, part of what was discussed, knowing Psylocke was going to be more prevalent in this season, was, is it going to be Betsy Braddock in the alternate body, or was it going to be Quanon's personality in it? based on the accent, I believe it is the Betsy Braddock,
Betsy.
even though they never called her out by name. So
Because she's British, right?
the super British accent.
Yeah. So, is it so funny that she's being like super professional?
Sorry. And the butterfly imagery, which is very specific
yeah.
to the Betsy Braddock from the comic.
And so the adults are being like super professional and everything, and then they radio down to Jubilee and Sunspot. They're like, "Why are you dancing?" It's like, you said to blend in, which is fair.
That's
like,
super fair.
Would you just want to be standing creepy in the middle of Rio?
During what probably is Carnival, yeah.
Yeah, and Jubilee like looks over and immediately finds War because he's doing what they said they shouldn't. He's not dancing. He's in his weird outfit, like she said, bowl cut, green skin, and finds him.
They really liked emphasizing bowl cut. He gets referred to by bowl cut multiple times in the episode.
I love the meta-ness of it because like it's such a ridiculous 90s design, and there's like
it's but the thing is, like, there were people that had that as like a character aspect. Like, did you ever see Lawnmower Man? The movie Lawnmower Man?
I don't know if I actually properly watched it, but I know of it.
The Job had a bowl cut. Like, that was just such a defining aspect of him as a character. So
yeah. And then this is my first big old chase. Big chase sequence because War clocks it. We don't see War clock him. We just hear Psylocke say like, he's on the run, he clocked you, and then we need to back up. So everyone goes to chase him.
And then Psylocke destroyed some dude's car for literally no reason. She's just like, fuck it, I'm going to use your car to break my fall. And the guy's like getting ready to go into his car, and he has this look of like abject horror on his face.
Yeah. He's like,
and nobody's going to believe him because this is the days before cell phone cameras. So he's just like, Ninja Woman dropped on my car, and his insurance company is going to tell him to go fuck himself.
I was going to say he's probably torn because he's like, oh, car is broken. Hot lady. Anyway, they chase War through all the alleys and stuff of Rio. But what actually stops War is Psylocke puts him to sleep. But I love the image. I've never actually seen Psylocke's powers from that perspective, where you just see him from his perspective. He like blacks out, and it cuts to her, and she has that psionic sword, that like cut through him and stuff.
So I actually put right before that happens, because that is a part of it, because there is a little fight scene. I called it the fireworks special instead of a fastball special.
Oh,
because
where Sunspot's carrying Jubilee.
Roberto throws Jubilee. So for those who are just hopping into this season for the first time with us, Rod and I have been working with a theory that there is a special for all the different times where one mutant throws another mutant at somebody in honor of the fastball special. So
I would also love for there to, at some point, not even this season, at some point during the run of X-Men 97, that there's like some danger room training sequence where like the Xavier Institute teaches that to students, because it would make sense just on tactical level, and like you have to combine powers and they have to be useful. And these are likely situations. They're probably like, you two are dating, so you're going to be around each other. You
guys need like 3 different maneuvers, honestly. So
yeah, and then there's probably some argument for like what was the last time was Beast? I don't know. There's all these others like you two are also in some sort of relationship.
Beast and Bishop were one of the throne groups too. Yeah.
So it's like we see something anyway. But if that's intentional, that's such a cool detail on like whoever's action choreographing, like all this stuff. Like,
I did have a theory, especially when we were talking about previous seasons. There is, in the New Mutants comic specifically, they loved calling out synergies, which were essentially combo attacks of like, combine this person's power and this person's power, insert special name here kind of scenario.
Yeah. So then we cut to,
which I believe is also a thing in the Marvel Fusion video game.
Oh, very cool.
Ultimate Alliance Fusion. Yeah.
And then we cut to, they have tied up War on a palm tree, which I love that they specify that this villain War is responsible for like genocides and like mass manslaughters and stuff, but he can be stopped by being
more blood than what the history books could record.
Yeah, but he can be stopped by being tied with a rope to a palm tree, which is like hilarious to me. And they don't even try to interrogate him. Psylocke just goes straight in to probe his mind, and Jubilee's caught off guard by that. I don't know what I would do.
I love that there was that moment there, though, where she's like, shouldn't you try the good cop way first, you know?
And I'm torn. I don't know what I would do in like the real life circumstance of that, because like I just watched something similar like happened in like in this plot. It was like there was this horrific. It's like, I guess the real world equivalent. It's like, would you try to negotiate with Hitler or something? You know, like
right.
Is that if you had
it's a trolley problem?
Yeah,
scenario. Yeah,
kind of. So yeah, I guess it. But like this is a trolley that has already run over billions of people, you know. Do you stop it at that point, or and so I don't know. So I see her point that she's instilled with that virtue, but also it's like this. And Archangel makes a point, barely human. And I caught it the second time around that Archangel was like, believe it from someone who's been where this guy is. This is mercy, because even if he doesn't want to do it, he's going to be tortured by being in the sunken place forever, you know, for whatever. You know, so anyway, so Psylocke doesn't ask. She's all business. She goes and probes his mind. It goes back to like Xavier's like mind stuff from the original series and stuff. Did she pull like a brick out of like a pyramid or something to get? Is that this scene, or that another one?
That is a separate thing.
Okay, so she goes in his mind. Oh, no, I remember. This is when she sees Apocalypse being delivered a coffin by War, and that's Gambit, right?
I fucking wonder who that is. Yeah,
that's Gambit. Watch it be hilarious. It'd be hilarious if it was just somebody else.
I mean, there is speculation online that Magic was also killed at some point during Genosha, and it could be Magic, but it's definitely fucking Gambit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Vision gets cut off by a wall of diamonds, and she gets thrown out, and so Cable's like, well, we got all the information we could out of him, and so he orders Archangel to execute War, hands him a gun, which is kind of funny to me to hand a gun to a man with like metal shooty things from your wings. You know, clean, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, if you're gonna leave evidence of a murder behind, leave a generic bullet as opposed to like,
I guess,
the super specific metal feather razor wing things, you know.
And Jubilee, like we said, objects and everything. I love how brutal the show is. They don't show him getting shot, but like you hear the shot and his body like slump over when they cut back, and Jubilee's just like horrified. That part I did believe, because even if she was okay with it, I feel like somebody that young would be like, "Oh my god," like somebody just like die, you know, like.
It's also like she wasn't there for Genosha, like that was like she was in the United States during all that. The actual amount of death that Jubilee has seen is probably, in a good way, fairly limited. So it was like kind of like, oh shit, you're an adult now moment, you know?
Yeah. It's your rite of passage as a superhero. So
as a Black Ops merc, because remember, this team isn't heroes. So
she, the way they animate her reaction is that you see that she's starting to have her doubts about Cable. And
then they start arguing on the jet, and he's like, I don't think I asked for your fucking opinion here.
Yeah, because to be fair, he did say when he recruited her, like, this is going to be, you're going to take orders, you know, and no one's going to be able to opt out. But then she still fights back as if she's still a teenager, you know, and she's like, well, if you want me to keep cooperating, then I have some terms of my own. Then that's when he calls out, like, so what do you have then?
You have a hunch.
She was like, there's only one mutant with diamonds. And I was like, what a funny, like, it's a big world, obviously, like, because they globe hop and, you know, go to the cosmos and stuff. But this is kind of like Star Wars, right? Somehow in the vast infinite universe, it's always the Skywalkers. So, like, in this, she's like, well, there's only one mutant in all of existence that has anything to do with diamonds. And it's Emma Frost.
It's the combo. She did mention the combo. So
the combo is funny though, because I guess I'd never considered the diamond thing being in Emma's telepathy part. You know what I mean? I guess in my head they were like separate. Like the diamond was like the physical. Yeah. But it's funny. I love the Amazon brand even when most people aren't watching.
Okay, dude. So here was my biggest worry. I love bad guy Emma. There is something about Emma still as a villain that I do really, really enjoy. Yeah. And I was worried that this was going to jump right into Emma's a good guy because she got saved on Genosha.
Oh, gotcha.
This is not good guy Emma. This is Emma who is literally about to have a threesome then gets cock-blocked because of Jubilee, Cable, and Sunspot being in her office, all dressed for a club, too. I do love Cable in his, like, giant hulking suit, basically.
And then immediately tries to rebound with Cable, which was the best response. Like, she flirts with Cable, and best response with Jubilee is like, ew.
Well, she refers to Sunspot as the Stray, Jubilee as a firecracker, Cable as a pit bull, and then immediately is like, well, you know, I'd love to make you bark. And I'm like, cool.
Yep. So, okay, so that...
Dude, I also have to point out, like, there were people online who were like, I can't believe this is a kid's show, like, 2 weeks ago. And it's like, this is not a fucking kid show. This literally is TV 14. Like, do not let your children watch this.
Also, you have no excuse at this point. The first season featured a genocide, a full-on, like they showed everything, you know? Anyway, so my note on this one is what I alluded to at the beginning of the episode. I think this episode should have been called The Stray, the Firecracker, and the Pitbull. Like, that's such a, like, most of this episode is following them. That's such a great, like, call out from Emma. Yeah. Because it's kind of random, but you know exactly, without even looking at them, you know who she's talking about.
I think the only reason that was not in contention is because we have another episode later in the season titled Weapon X Lies and DVDs. And I don't think they wanted to repeat the cadence of the title.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get it. At the end of the day, like, none of these titles are like super specific. Like Days of Past Future is just a play.
Well, that's a comic book reference.
Yeah, it was a play onto the Future Past, right?
No, like there's also a different comic book called the same thing. Yeah.
Oh, so so it's like the Reckoning is probably a reference too. But like, I just like, as far as like, like, I love titles of episodes that like are like no context spoilers, you know? Yeah. Like, you would see that, like, a very specific line, but you don't know anything, like, it doesn't give you away anything about the episode. I just thought that would be really cool. Stray, Firecracker, and Pitbull. That's such a cool, it's like Blind Witch in the Wardrobe. Anyway, you know, Jubilee is grossed out by Emma flirting with Cable. But you have to remember, though, like, Emma was like, she 5 seconds ago, she was going to hook up with these two guys, you know? So she's still in that mode. She
was ready for it. Like, also, they adjusted her design a little bit. She's let her hair grow out since Genosha. It was longer hair, I did notice, too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and so they ask her, like, you know, what's your deal? And basically, she's like, I'm just trying to survive now, you know? So, like, she's trying to get... So she's like, I'm not even on the side. I'm just getting paid. Which I don't know why anybody was surprised, like, a woman who brands herself around diamonds would, well, you know,
and also like coming out of the inner circle of the Hellfire Club and stuff like that. It's like, she's not known for being a good person. She was a politician in Genosha, and regardless of what side of politics you are, you have to be a little bit of a narcissist to be a politician no matter what. So, yeah.
And so she tells them, like, well, war needed to smuggle cargo into Switzerland, and they're like, well, like, where were they going? And she was like, well, what's in it for me? And then we cut away to them landing in Switzerland. They basically find like an abandoned lab. And it was a Psylocke, I think, that confirmed like this is Apocalypse's space, but he's been long gone. Whatever was done here was completed.
So Cable calls out that it's Horseman tech. Warren points out that it's more advanced than anything that was used on him, which I think gives the implication from the last episode of Apocalypse coming back to the 90s to switch stuff up. And then Psylocke confirms like whatever they did is already gone. And then they essentially blame Emma of like, you know, you led us to a dead end. And she's like, sort of.
Yeah, it's like it definitely is an end. That's what it was. Yeah. And that's when X Factor show up and you see that it was a trap set by X Factor in exchange for Emma's amnesty, which once again, who's surprised?
Definitely follows big old fight.
Big ol' fight's my next note.
Warren does start the fight first. He's definitely like very loose cannony with stuff around Apocalypse. And then I love the fact that Emma does not give a shit. Stuff is blowing up around her. Stuff is flying past her face. So she turns Diamond and then just literally says yawn out loud.
Yeah. Very British. She says it in the accent too. Yawn.
And doesn't Jubilee at one point say, like, you really are a bitch? She's about to call her a bitch, and then the cutoff happens.
It gets cut off, yeah. Or maybe worse.
I can't see Jubilee dropping the C word. I could see her dropping bitch. I can't see her dropping the C word.
Yeah. But then Polaris ends the fight, and Jubilee calls out Polaris for, like, don't you... Yeah, you know these values. You used to be one of us. And to her credit, Polaris is like, so are you, though. And this is not the X-Men.
Yeah. But she does also kind of like drop the bootlicker line of like, it's not about right or wrong or good guys, bad guys. It's about authority. And
yeah.
I like that they're doing it to showcase how X-Factor is not following Xavier's dream. Because like, X-Force is doing Xavier's dream in the most extreme way possible. X-Force is doing it in the most extreme way possible, but X-Factor is just like, y'all are just co-opting the X right now, really. So
yeah, both. Honestly, for me, as someone who didn't like read the comic books, the X-Factor X-Force thing was really like hard for me to mentally juggle this episode to remember like who was who. Because the whole X branding thing, but I'm glad they stuck with it because like it's what we loved about the 90s stuff. But they break out and all of X-Force escapes except for Jubilee very, very narrowly. And this is what I was alluding to in yesterday's episode, where it's like, man, we're just speed running all these timelines because Sunspot's like, we can't just leave her behind. Oh, look, she's back.
in season 1, Beast was in jail for 8 episodes.
Yeah.
of season 1 of X-Men 92. Beast was in jail for 8 fucking episodes. Actually, it was more than that. It was 11 episodes.
It was pretty much the first season, right? Yeah. Like, so
because he got captured in Night of the Sentinels and then got released in the last episode.
And somewhere in the airspace of DC, we see Havoc and Polaris interrogating Jubilee. I remember to that moment that Havoc and Polaris are a thing.
It is a helicarrier too. Just remember.
Oh, is it a helicarrier? Oh, very cool.
That was definitely a helicarrier.
And I love, like, once again, we said it about the bowl cut thing. I love how Jubilee's kind of like the meta thing here because she asks if there's any more C-list heroes and calls Havoc like a knockoff Cyclops.
You know what my favorite part about that is of calling him knockoff Cyclops? It has not been acknowledged that is his brother.
Oh, okay. So she's just receiving that Summers energy.
Yeah.
She's like, you're kind of a dick, and I can't pinpoint how I know that.
Also, shout out to the voice actor who is portraying Havoc. His name is Teddy Sears, and
nice.
You know, a lot of these new voice actors we've been like reaching out to of like, hey, welcome to the family and stuff like that. Specifically with his post, I told him to watch out for Punk Your Ducky because she has it out for the Summers boys, and she's like, do all the Summers boys have to watch their back? So props to him for already being in on the joke with this show. So
yeah, we have to bring back that list. Maybe next episode we'll bring back that list about what every X-Men episode's about, and always like aliens ruin Scott Summers' day. Telepaths ruin Scott Summers' day.
Brother ruined Scott Summers' day.
Scott Summers
alien brother ruined Scott Summers' day. Yeah.
And then Polaris asks for some time alone with Jubilee, and Jubilee kind of extends the call out of Polaris, and but culminates at like, would Xavier be proud of you right now? And then Jubilee even extends it herself, because Polaris asked her about Cable, and this is fresh off Jubilee not being okay with the execution of war, and he's like, I'm working on that. Because that's a good question. And then she extends it to herself. She's like, I don't know if Xavier would be proud of me right now. This is something we all have to ask ourselves.
It's such a cool moment of maturity for Jubilee to have that too. Because remember, she started as the 13-year-old child soldier. And now she's like, yeah, I learned all this stuff for 5 years. The last 6 months of my life have been hell. Have I changed as a person because of that hell? By being like, if she had walked away after Cable did that, then she probably would have like felt more like clear conscious. But like, yeah, she's like, I stayed on the team and kept alongside this dude who just, you know, gave a thumbs up for an execution.
Yeah. And Havoc comes back and tells Polaris that he's got a holding cell ready for her. So they take Jubilee to the holding cell. I don't like, so there, I think I saw like Gina from New Rockstars give like a 5-minute list of the characters in the scene. Like they basically walk through Marvel's version of Arkham. I can't remember. I think the only ones I recognized were the Stepford Cuckoos.
Yep.
And
so that's 3 of them. So that's 3 of the 21.
21, Jesus. And there was, I can't remember, there was another one that I recognized, but I didn't write down their name in there. But anyway, right. I'm sure there's a good.
Do you want the rundown? Let's hit.
Yeah,
let's hit the rundown.
we walk past. What is it? I guess for Marvel it'd be the Raft, right? This isn't the Raft, but like I was gonna say, like Marvel's Arkham. As I feel like whenever DC goes through Arkham, we see like 20 different villains.
Okay, so Angel, that's the girl from the intro with the wings, who is also in X-Men New Class. There's Beak. Beak is the one that we joke is the worst power ever because it makes him like a shitty flightless bird.
Yeah.
Anole, he is the guy who's green. He's one of the very prominent queer students in the X-Men comics. Glob. Glob is the dude who is like giant and see-through.
The pink guy. Okay.
Yep. Kid Omega, who we talked about earlier. Eye-Boy. Eye-Boy just literally has multiple eyes popping out all over his body. Sync, who doesn't... You can't really tell what his powers are, but he's able to like copycat powers of other mutants. Amazing story in the modern run of the X-Men, by the way. Penance, who we talked about earlier. Dust, who has had references in the previous season.
I remember Dust last season. Yeah.
Nina or Nina, I don't remember specifically how to say her name, who is more of like a wolf girl vibe to her. Chamber, who you talked about earlier. Archie, who has bug powers. Loa, who has a Islander background and like facial tattoos and stuff like that. In the background, there is Rockslide, who is a giant, like, looks like the Thing from Fantastic Four, but it's a darker thing. Nature Girl, who is on Genosha. She's the girl with the deer horns. Pixie, who is got like magical power vibes. Mondo, who's a member of Generation X. And then lastly, there is an unnamed mutant who is in the Cinna Grace run of Iceman. So that is all of it. Shout out to Power of X-Men on Instagram, who posted the entire breakdown on a per creator basis. So
I think I also saw... I don't know who it was because they randomly got served on my feed, probably because the algorithm knows I like X-Men stuff. But some random comic book artist, or not random, but a comic book artist that I'm not familiar with, posted like, I never thought this character would be on screen. They were surprised to see one of their characters as a background character.
I saw that earlier today as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And like,
and
I was like, oh,
they're
what
in
a cool
the
surprise.
Credits for it. Yeah.
Yeah, what a cool surprise to get to have that.
Actually, this is the Cinna Grace unnamed mutant. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And that's from Cinna's host.
Nice.
I wish I saved the other person because I saw that same post and it was such a cool moment. They were like, I can't believe my name is next to all these other amazing creators. And like, that's such a cool moment for somebody to have.
It's also good to see like all the creators apparently getting put in the end credits. I feel like that's not super, like that might be like a new-ish thing, right?
Oh, I believe it was Nathan Stockman was the artist from that earlier. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, but he's up there with like John Byrne, Greg Capullo, Andy Kubert, Grant Morrison, like are all in that that special thanks credit. That's right cool. There.
That's gotta be a real like arrival moment. That's kind of like I mentioned earlier this episode. I interviewed Lucy Woodward. Even if you're not familiar with her, she's like a singer, And she was talking about like how she's sung with Carole King like a few different times during her career from when she was very young. And she was like, it's one of those things when you're like, how am I doing in life? And I was like, fine. Like, you're singing with Carole King, like you're doing fine, you know?
I mean, one of our friends, Jordan, she has an alternate Instagram account. It's called ASMR Lenore, and it's her doing ASMR as Rogue. And
Nice.
She was at Scum and Villainy, and people recognized her as ASM Lenore. So like that was
really
like
cool.
an awesome moment, like that this fandom that you're so in love with also recognizes you back. And I think we've mentioned it on the podcast before, like there was a couple who were cosplaying at Comic-Con, and I saw them and I gave them pins. I was like, hey, we do an X-Men podcast. You have an amazing cosplay. And they were like, oh, we listen to you. And that was such a cool fucking moment that like a random person actually knew who we were.
Yeah.
Like, because we're not huge by any means. So it's like, I don't assume that like, 150,000 people at Comic-Con, I don't assume a single person is going to know us outside of our friend circle at something like that, you know?
I was also, for anybody that doesn't know us personally in context, like, we're, both me and JC are surrounded by, like, very, like, ultra-famous people all the time. Like, when I was just at VidCon, like, one of our mutual friends, but my old neighbor, between him and his fiance have probably 30 or 40 million followers and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, we're used to, like, fame being in that sense where, like, we can't walk 3 feet without them needing to do autographs and photos. Like, literally, I was getting lunch with Anna, and it took us like 3 hours to get like 20 feet somewhere, you know?
Yep.
And that's cool. They love it. Like, I actually remember Anna saying something to the effect of like, she got snubbed by some person that she really admired when she was younger. And she said she vowed that if she ever became an influencer, she would never do that. And I'll test, like, at least the times I've been around, no matter how tired that woman is, she'll go 1,000% out of her way to make the most special moment for her fan. Like, to the point where Nathan and Anna carry like gifts with them for fans when they meet. They have these little awesome cat toys and stuff. So anyway, so when we're around, like, somebody notices, like, I guess in the internet age it's not super surprising, but we're just so used to like the extreme version of that.
We're in the industry that we're used to being around or being friendly with people who are mega famous. So even anyone recognizing me is like, is just like such an oh shit moment that I genuinely appreciate that.
For me in the music world, it's kind of like a little horrifying when people recognize me from TikTok. I was working with I can't say it, but like this major project and the studio engineer for an artist that you definitely know, a few artists that you definitely know. We were just meeting each other for the first time through some mutual friends because we were working on a session, and it was like, our mutual says you also do social media. I'm like, yeah, that was kind of an accident though, but like, it's whatever. It's like one Backstreet Boys video and who knows, right? And he was like, wait, you're the guy that lays in his bed in the dark. I'm like, no, what if I say that's not me? Because we're here for something else. I promise you I write music. Anyway, so that's always fun when it happens out in the real world. Anyway, in this, we cut back to Sunspot and Cable on whatever their ship is, and they're arguing, and Sunspot's like, we can't just leave her behind. He's doing the good boyfriend thing, though, but I love the Cable, it being old man Cable. He, like, one-ups Sunspot and also gets his way. He's like, I don't know about you, but I trust that she's trained well enough to get on this on her own. Like, if you don't have any faith in her, then... and Cable's confident she'll escape, and then literally the next scene, Polaris breaks her out.
I do like how it's like just because she can doesn't mean she should have to do it on her own too. Sunspot still tosses it back on Cable of like, you're getting help from a lot of people and you're abandoning somebody who doesn't need the help, but you probably should give them the help,
I guess, yeah. But Cable, obviously, he's like kind of shown that everybody's expendable because that man has to have like not a godlike perspective, but he's slipped through time so much, He's probably very close to like Rick from Rick and Morty. He's like, none of this shit matters except for like existing.
I mean, his own mom disintegrated in front of him, so...
Yeah. And so, Polaris, like, I guess her conscience got to her. She lets Jubilee out, and she's like, I can give you 5 minutes. What you do with it is up to you. And Jubilee has leveled up, like, 3,000 levels in the time we last saw her.
they did such a good job by making sure to include the moment with Jubilee and Abscissa from the Motendo episode.
Yeah.
Because it reminded you of how much more Jubilee can do with her powers than the girl who shot sparks against Sentinels in 1992.
So in this fight sequence, they lean into the 90s. She's got roller skates on for some reason. There was so many TikToks I've seen that were like, not that I care, but where do the roller skates come from? Where do they go? I'm like, you know what? Good question.
And also, she escapes out of her cell, gets roller skates, or blades. They were blades, weren't they?
Yeah. I think,
and
roller blades.
And also gets her Walkman.
Yeah, gets a Walkman. And listens to Veruca Salt. That was such a great song. I don't know if you remember him.
Lie. I didn't know that song. I felt really bad for not knowing it. Yeah.
I don't know if I knew it specifically, but I love Veruca Salt. And, shout out to Christian, who, I don't know if you remember, we met him at last year's rap party. He was part of, the music team. And yes, I saw him and Dave Jordan. I've never met Dave Jordan, I don't think, are the music supervisors, at least for this episode. So I don't know if this was in the script or they came up with it, but whatever, they were the ones that probably secured the rights to that song. Such a great needle drop in a fight scene for Jubilee. But the thing that really caught me is that I don't know if I was ready for Jubilee to have the feet sparks.
Yeah.
She's basically become the Rocketeer, but without the jetpack. That's kind of a cool potential,
I forgot who said it, so I apologize for taking this, but I will not claim it as my own. Somebody basically said this was the animated equivalent of the Daredevil hallway fight because of all the lighting effects and she literally did an MMA armbar on the dude, and then later when she's fighting on the deck of the helicarrier, she does a head scissors. The fight choreo leveled up beyond any other animated X-Men thing I have ever seen. And that even include the props I was giving to the fight scenes in the X-Men anime, which, Japanese animation is just so known for great fight scenes. This blew it all out of the water, and this was one of the best fight scenes. So
I just remembered something I referenced earlier, but this reminded me of it. So this fight scene filled the void. Have you seen Supergirl yet?
I have not yet, no. This
is not a spoiler. This fight scene with Jubilee filled the void that a fight scene in Supergirl left. Because, I guess it's not a story spoiler, but there's a fight scene in Supergirl that they don't show the fight. Mm-hmm. You see it, there's the aftermath in the background, and they show it from the perspective of a girl hiding in a corner. If they were trying to be artistic, this movie was not that. I wanted to see Supergirl have that big fight, and you just left that movie and we're like, why didn't we get to see the cool fight? And then we see this this fight with Jubilee. I'm like, that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see, especially because Supergirl had this punk rock theme to it, so it's we get to hear Veruca Salt, we get to hear all this badass fighting and stuff. So in Supergirl, there's a moment where Kara is telling Ruthie the same thing. They were you can't kill someone, blah blah. It's yeah, but this person was responsible for the deaths of millions and stuff. That's what reminded me. So this episode of 97 filled a void. They got void left behind. So much because I wanted to like Supergirl so much more. It was fine. It may have been the most average movie I've seen in years, but I just this really satisfied. The rollerblade fight, the fireworks, and then Jubilee shooting fireworks out of her feet was crazy. Yep. It kind of makes me wonder if they're just if in the right timeline, could she just eventually fly with all that stuff? She's propelling herself from, I don't know. So exciting. So she radios to Sunspot and Cable that there's more prisoners on this ship, and they need to come by and to get them. She lets all the prisoners go. I guess she decides there's not enough time to take the collars off of them. Or didn't know how to get the collars off of them because it was Polaris who took it off of her. So yeah. So essentially, functionally, Jubilee's the only mutant, and she's just escorting a bunch of humans, from children to adults, out on this I guess as a helicarrier kind of setting or whatever. Yeah. And frees all the prisoners. Sunspot and Cable come and get all the prisoners out, with the exception of a couple kids that Jubilee goes back for later. Yep. and then Jubilee does the coolest move of like swiping a parachute and almost jumps off, and then Val stops her.
She shoots the parachute out of her
away.
hand.
And just I think it speaks to the music. The momentum of the music showed that like that wasn't going to be the end of it, you know. And so like Jubilee kind of taunts them, and then she's such a badass. Like I also feel like this might like what's the it pay penance to how Jubilee was treated in all the X-Men movies. Like she's so cool because she just like falls back off the top of the helicarrier, and what is it, Havoc that says like this team is going to be troublesome, and then Sunspot just catches her, which solid move, my guy. Like,
well, I also love that as she's doing it and she's doing the fall backwards, she shoots off the fireworks to like give the signal to Sunspot.
That makes so much more sense. I thought she was just giving a finger to Val.
I think it was the combination. I think it was the equivalent of falling back and flipping them off, and also Sunspot, who's probably like, you know, you saw him and Warren and Psylocke popping down there and doing shit. It was definitely for me like the like that's the signal of like, hey, I'm shooting a bunch of shit. You should probably come get me.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I did figure it out. The little girl was Nina, the one that she saw like huddled in the corner. That was Nina.
And I know it's not the same character, but it kind of reminded me of the little girl that Jubilee saw in the Christmas episode of the original series.
Correct. It is a different girl, but very similar vibes, because that girl was she was more like reptilian-ish, where this girl I believe was from the Joss Whedon run. I could be wrong on that one, but I don't think she was introduced until the 2000s.
It's basically like a cute little girl with like big eyes. This is usually like this is what they put opposite of Jubilee.
And then the boy who had a similar-ish design with the pink head, that was Archie.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So they after that whole escape.
Sorry. When she kissed him on the cheek, fireworks popped out from the kiss.
Interpret that as you will.
I thought that design-wise, brilliant.
Super
Whoever
cute.
the fuck
Super
came
cute.
up with that, awesome.
Yeah.
So.
She's just very effervescent.
Yeah.
So then we see a news report where Val's straight up calling X-Force terrorists. They put their mugshots up. Or I say mugshots. They're like great promo shots. We never see mugshots in
those were headshots. Those were not mugshots. Even Jubilee, who they had literally captured, they didn't have a mugshot for.
And then Archangel, Cable and Archangel are like, this is great. Not really the most incognito move, but Jubilee's like, well, we couldn't like, you know, the whole point is to save people. So we can't, like, we had this opportunity to save people. And then Archangel's like, that's fair. But, Lucy's awake, so that's how we know the episode's about to wrap.
Yep.
We'll have dinner soon. She's eating the knobs off my keyboard.
For audio listeners, Lucy is Rod's cat who's eating his keyboard right now. You can see that on the video version of the show. I do love, and this definitely is like a message for today, where it was like, you know, what was the cost of revealing ourselves and being so public, and Jubilee's response is, it's less than the cost of doing nothing, which very much is like the hope of the X-Men at the end of the day. Could they all be X-Force? Could they all be the Brotherhood of Mutants? Could they all be X-Factor? And it's like, no, you got to throw yourself at the problem and be damned with what the consequences are. So and so then Archangel's like, well, regardless of all that, that's great. Kids can't go where we're going, which is to Apocalypse. And he does this like PTSD zoom in of Cable, and he's like, well, kids can handle more than you think they can. And it cuts back to the previous shot at the end of the last episode where he's getting the computer installed into his arm. And like Jean and Scott are already like, well, it'll be good to like actually, you know, have our family and blah blah for a little bit. And then immediately computer's like, sorry, no, you have to go back. It was
now.
basically like you get to kindly like finally ask all those questions now that we revealed this big thing. And computer and Mother Ascani are just like, nope, this is your burden. You got to deal with it. Kick them to the past.
Yeah. Which I think like is partially the timeline ripple stuff, but also like wasn't the whole point of like not revealing themselves to Nathan was they were afraid that it was going to change his timeline.
Yes.
So they're probably just like, you can't ask them any questions.
It's like you've literally done the maximum of what you could do to not fuck this up for him right now.
So he time slides them presumably to the 90s, which seems where like everybody's going.
Everybody's coming home.
That was the what I saw is the first time he actually called it computer. He's like, computer time slide my parents over. So it's like the ship became computers. That's kind of cool. Also, I love the score underneath this part. Like, I love the emotional way. It's so cool. Like, all this stuff. I can't wait for this season's soundtrack to come out, because the first season soundtrack was really, really good. This one, even though I'm in music, like, there's a lot of times where like I just sit back and enjoy stuff, so I don't recognize a lot of music happening most times when it's doing its job. But like there was such like cool like hooky moments in all three episodes.
I have to steal this from our friend Melanie, who said, get ready to hear the X-Men 97 intro for the next 8 weeks. People are missing how good the rest of the music are for this series.
Oh yeah.
Like, everybody's so focused on like, I want to use a trending audio, so they keep using the intro from the show and stuff like that. And it's like, guys, like the Newton brothers put together such amazing stuff for like, and so much of it is original. It's not just like a great needle drop like Happy Nation or this Veruca Salt song. It's like, there's such good original shit here. I mean, the only complaint I would have is like, it's probably going to take a year for it to get pressed on vinyl that we could buy the damn thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know, but and also like I mentioned this in my social media post, but like whether it was intentional or not, the Newton brothers and their team did a good job of underscoring this show like Ron would have. Like there's like these cool like little moments, and then like specifically Lily, who works in the Newton brothers team, I think she did a lot of like the supplemental stuff. So there's times where like there's additional music done by Lily, and also I think she does some of the orchestral arrangements for the stuff the Newton brothers do. I don't know if you follow her on Instagram. I guess someone had made a stamp for her for whenever she signs off on a score, and instead of just being like, you know, approved or whatever, it says big letters like approved by Lily, don't question it. And I was like,
that's awesome. That's like boss-ass moves right there.
Well, when we first met Lily, we met him with Andy and Christian over at the season finale last year, season wrap. Andy from the Newton Brothers introduced me to Lily as she works for us right now, but someday we're all going to be working for her. So, like, that's how highly they speak of her. So far, she's really proved it, because she's done stuff on, like, Daredevil and stuff, too. So, the whole team does music. Is just fucking killer.
I mean, we've been talking about this since we met them 2 years ago. Like, they're the hot shit for like soundtracks and music between this, Daredevil, both Five Nights at Freddy's movies, like stuff like that. Chuck. Like they're getting some amazing stuff out there. So
yeah, I don't know how they do it. It's so much stuff they're outputting. But yeah, so yeah, this episode is great. Yeah, everybody's going home to the 90s. For some reason in my head, I was thinking, oh, it's going to take them all season to get them back in time. But then I forgot this show speed runs everything. So it's almost surprising that it took a couple episodes.
But also notice they did the like future episode, present day episode, 2 past episodes. So based on this time frame, I'm assuming everybody is back in the 90s by episode 5.
I guess yeah.
Well,
5.
end of episode 4, but like full fledged,
Gotcha.
Because we know it's a part 1 and a part 2 for 3 and 4. We already know, like, was it episode 6 or 7 is Danger, and then Weapon X Lies and DVDs. Like, that is a modern story. That is not a past or present story, because it's so and then just like, you know, if you've made it to the end of this and you haven't followed us, please like hit us up, like, you know, talk to us on the IG and stuff like that. Go hop into the comments, give us your takes on stuff, inevitably, like, if we fuck anything up, tell us. I will specifically shout out our YouTube commenters. We have a few people that are pretty regularly in our YouTube comments that love to leave feedback and correct us when we fuck stuff up, and like that's the only way we're going to get better at this is actually learn.
So we're excited. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the third episode of this premiere.
Rod, I promise this is the only time we will ever have 3 episodes in three consecutive days as an upload.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
Yeah, but it's such a it's good to have the show back. The only thing I'm like kind of bummed about is like there's 8 more episodes from this, but 7 more episodes as of this week. Yeah. And then we have to wait. Well, supposedly we won't have to wait more than a year again. So
supposedly it's only a year. Brad saying that during a lot of press stuff, I think, gives it a lot of credence. So
yeah, but also we know people in
because
those
he said that
circles that have,
at Tribeca. That was where he said that publicly.
And we also just know people around town and stuff that have, like, the season 4's in like at least pre-pro now and stuff. So like the ball's rolling ahead of time. It's not like season 1 ended and then they just start. It's like
yeah. So
the next thing. So, but. Yeah. Anyway, well, thanks for joining us.
I was gonna say you have the outro. I'm waiting for you to jump into it.
If you have any thoughts, make sure to drop them in the comments for either the YouTube upload videos, Spotify upload, or official Instagram post about this episode. If you like what you heard, we appreciate a rating on the podcast app you're choosing. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube Podcasts. One more tomorrow.